To my alien roommate, I'm just a stuffed toy. That's why she hugs me to sleep. Every night, Lisa Martinez thought her biggest problem was finding affordable housing near the Mars research station, until she discovered her new roommate wasn't exactly human. The dormitory assignment came through on a Tuesday morning when Lisa was 3 days behind on rent and living off protein bars she'd stolen from the lab cafeteria. The message was brief and official-looking, stating that she'd been matched with a compatible roommate named Zara, who would cover half the expenses. Lisa didn't care if Zara was a serial killer at this point. She just needed somewhere to sleep. That wasn't the storage closet behind the hydroponics bay. When Lisa first saw Zara standing in their shared living space, she felt her breath catch in her throat. Zara was tall, much taller than any human Lisa had ever met, with silvery blue skin that seemed to shimmer under the artificial lighting. Her hair was white as fresh snow and fell in waves down to her waist, but what really caught Lisa's attention were her eyes. They were large and completely black, like looking into deep space itself. "You must be Lisa," Zara said, and her voice had a musical quality that made Lisa's spine tingle. "I am very pleased to make your acquaintance." Lisa managed to stammer out a greeting while her mind raced, trying to process what she was seeing. Zara moved with an otherworldly grace that reminded Lisa of videos she'd seen of deep-sea creatures floating through water. There was something hypnotic about the way she carried herself, something that made Lisa want to keep staring, even though she knew it was rude. The first few days of living together passed in a strange routine. Zara was quiet and clean, keeping to herself mostly, and Lisa began to relax, thinking maybe this arrangement wouldn't be so bad after all. That was until she started noticing the odd behavior. It began with small things. Zara would tilt her head at sounds Lisa couldn't hear, and sometimes she would stop mid-conversation to stare at the wall as if she could see through it. Lisa also noticed that Zara never seemed to sleep at the same time she did, and when Lisa would get up for her midnight snacks, she'd often find Zara standing perfectly still in the common area, just watching the door. The breakthrough came on a Friday night when Lisa had been studying late for her xenobiology exam. She was exhausted and stumbled toward her bedroom when she heard something that made her freeze in the hallway. It was Zara's voice, but she wasn't speaking in the careful English she always used around Lisa. Instead, she was speaking in what sounded like a series of clicks and whistles that seemed to come from deep in her throat. Lisa pressed herself against the wall and listened as Zara continued what was clearly a conversation with someone Lisa couldn't see. The alien language was beautiful in its own way, like listening to whale songs mixed with wind chimes. But there was an urgency to Zara's tone that made Lisa's heart race. "The subject shows no signs of awareness," Zara said, switching back to English. "She believes I am simply an exchange student from the outer colonies." Lisa's blood turned to ice as she realized Zara was talking about her. She was a subject in some kind of experiment or observation study. The pieces began falling into place. Zara's odd behaviors, her perfect English, despite claiming to be from a distant colony, the way she sometimes seemed to be analyzing Lisa's every move. "Physical contact has been established," Zara continued. "The subject responds positively to casual touch and shows no fear or suspicion. She appears to find my presence comforting rather than threatening." Lisa remembered all the times Zara had brushed against her in the kitchen or placed a hand on her shoulder while they watched movies together. At the time, it had seemed natural, almost affectionate. But now she realized every touch had been calculated and observed. "Recommendation proceeding to Phase 2 of Integration Protocol," Zara said. "The subject would make an excellent candidate for the cultural exchange program." The conversation ended abruptly, and Lisa heard footsteps approaching the hallway. She managed to slip into her room just as Zara's door opened, but her heart was pounding so hard she was sure it could be heard through the walls. That night, Lisa lay awake, staring at the ceiling, trying to process what she'd learned. Her roommate was some kind of alien spy or researcher studying humans, and Lisa was her unwitting test subject. The thought should have terrified her, but instead she found herself thinking about Zara's gentle smile and the way her eyes seemed to light up when Lisa laughed at her jokes. The next morning brought an unexpected development. Lisa woke to find Zara sitting on the edge of her bed, watching her with those deep black eyes. There was something different about her expression, something softer and more vulnerable than Lisa had ever seen before. "I know you heard me last night," Zara said quietly. "Your heart rate increased significantly, and your breathing patterns changed in a way consistent with emotional distress." Lisa sat up slowly, pulling her blanket around herself like armor. "So you really aren't human?" "No," Zara admitted. "I am what your people would call an anthropologist. I was sent here to study human behavior and social patterns in preparation for potential diplomatic contact between our species, and I'm just your lab rat." Zara's expression fell, and for the first time since Lisa had known her, she looked genuinely hurt. "You were supposed to be yes, but something unexpected happened." "What?" "I began to care about you." Zara said the words so quietly Lisa almost missed them. "In my culture, we do not form emotional attachments the way humans do, but living with you, watching you laugh and cry and dream, has awakened something in me that I do not fully understand." Lisa stared at her, trying to read the alien features for signs of deception, but all she saw was what looked like genuine emotion. "So what happens now? Do you report back to your superiors and recommend Earth for invasion?" "There will be no invasion," Zara said firmly. "My people are explorers and scholars, not conquerors. We seek to understand other species, not dominate them, but Lisa, I cannot complete my mission as originally planned." "Why not?" Zara reached out slowly, giving Lisa time to pull away, but Lisa found herself leaning into the touch. "Because I have violated the most fundamental rule of anthropological study. I have become emotionally involved with my subject." Lisa felt her heart skip a beat. "What are you saying?" I'm saying that every night when I hold you while we watch movies, I am not gathering data on human social bonding. I am simply enjoying being close to you. When you fall asleep on the couch, and I carry you to your bed, I am not observing human sleep patterns. I'm making sure you are comfortable and safe." The confession hung in the air between them, and Lisa realized that despite everything, her feelings for Zara hadn't changed. She still felt drawn to her, still found comfort in her presence. The fact that she was alien didn't seem to matter as much as Lisa thought it would. "So where does that leave us?" Lisa asked. Zara smiled, and it was the first completely genuine expression Lisa had seen from her. "I suppose it leaves us as roommates, who have been honest with each other for the first time since we met." Lisa couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of the situation. "My alien roommate has been studying me like a lab specimen, and somehow that's led to us having feelings for each other. This is either the beginning of a beautiful relationship or the plot of a very weird science fiction movie." "Perhaps both," Zara said, and when she leaned down to kiss Lisa's forehead, it felt like the most natural thing in the world. As Lisa drifted back to sleep with Zara's arms around her, she realized that sometimes the most extraordinary relationships begin with the most ordinary moments, and that love might just be the most universal language of all.